Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Buckeye Breakdown Podcast here on the Buckeyes Roundtable YouTube channel. Your normal suspects, Anthony Moeglin, alongside my partner, Kevin Woidke. And Kevin, I know you're not home right now, but we got a spring wave rolling through Cleveland right now. It is where you're at. I know it's nice too, but we got Northeast Ohio's got 53 degrees and sun. It's got us feeling like spring and the new year kind of coming right around the corner. Finally getting some good weather after we survived a tough winter. But man, oh man, Kev, we got to start here. We're not going to waste any time because our Ohio State men's basketball team is on life support, man. And they had an up and down week last week. They got some good news middle of the week. They had a tough Saturday just from start to finish, and now they're looking down the barrel of a really hard stretch to bring it home. Oh man, dude, I thought they were going to have a really good shot at making a run for the tournament, but it is very, very bleak that they're going to make the postseason.
They got to have some great games. Losing Mobley is huge,
dude.
There's nothing you can really do about that. It's just an injury. But I mean, is this what it's like to be a Penn State football fan? Like, it's the only way I could describe it. Like, I mean, this team has had me. It's my first time really getting into it. It has been up, down, left, right. I don't know which way to go. The women are usually pretty steady, and they usually shine a light. When we do these, they also lost. I mean, I saw a graphic from January 20th where we're a tournament team. And, I mean, wow, what a month can do. But I mean, I think that this team is hard. I love Tilly. Tilly might be my favorite player in college basketball. He's just a monster white guy who shoots threes. I mean, he's hysterical out there.
It was Saturday was just a bummer because the Mobley news comes down like midday because you're kind of like gearing up for it. Okay, you know, Ohio State gets for whatever reason, right? And I don't know how this works, but their Northwestern win turning into a quad one victory was like the most shocking thing ever. Like that's become like their best victory on their schedule. Northwestern's 10-15. I don't know how that works or how that makes any sense, but we'll take it. That happened after they beat USC, and that USC win last Wednesday was like really tough. Like had to grind it out at the end and got it done. And then you're like, okay, you got 7 games left. They're all hard. You had 5 against quad 1 teams, 2 against quad 2 teams. Now I think Wisconsin tomorrow was a quad 2 game. I think it's going to be a quad 1 game. And you basically had to go 5-2 over your last 7. That's still in play. But man, oh man, you got Wisconsin on the docket. You got Michigan State on the docket. You got Purdue on the docket. You got Indiana, who's not as good this year, but it's still Indiana. You got Penn State in there, which probably feels like it could be a win. But man, dude, like this is a huge mountain to climb. And it just feels like Ohio State team doesn't have the tools to get it done. At least that's kind of what it feels like.
Well, the thing is, they were competing without one of their better scorers against Virginia. Like that was a good game by them up until they had a chance to win it. It was rough is putting it softly. But I'm not giving up on them yet. I'd love for them to make a tourney run. Give us Ohio State in Dayton. Give us a play-in game. I don't care. They'll go nuts.
Yeah, that would be sweet. We'll see how it all shakes out. Like you said, they're down. They are not out. They will need a miracle run this week. Big one. They go. They got Wisconsin coming on Tuesday night, 7:30 tip. A big week of just Big Ten basketball. Michigan and Purdue square off on Tuesday night. With Michigan State plays UCLA. UCLA stinks. But obviously Wisconsin and Ohio State. Wisconsin's out in the top 25. They're ranked 24th in the country. Real quick, this isn't a Miami Redhawks show. Do you know about Miami baskloss right now?
They should have a loss. They should have a loss against Kent State. Like it went to overtime.
They should have lost to Kent State.
Front of the iron, hit the front of the iron at the end of the regulation.
Was that Quinn? Did Quinn take the final shot?
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. And but hey, you know what? You know what's the best part of Miami? It doesn't matter. You got to win in Cleveland in March, and that's the only way you're getting into that tournament because they haven't played enough good teams to warrant any of the attention they're getting.
Yeah, well, that may be right. That may be right. There's nothing better than, in my opinion, nothing better than the MAC tournament when it ascends on Cleveland. I know that I get all fired up for it. So the Red Hawks are rolling, but regardless, Ohio State, huge week. They got Wisconsin on Tuesday night, and then they're off till Sunday where they take on Michigan State in Michigan State. That'll be a really tough game for them to go up and do it. But you're at the point now where you just take it one game at a time. You take it one game at a time, and hopefully you'll have a chance. And if not, great, you go to the Big Ten tournament, just go on a run and go win the damn thing and see what happens there.
Yeah, I think if we beat Michigan State or Purdue,
yeah.
Granted, that's if Purdue beats Michigan and doesn't fall too far. Mm-hmm. I think if we can beat one, if we beat both of them, I think we're in. If we beat one of them and have a good showing in the Big Ten tournament, I think we're in. Yeah,
it's a good point, dude. It's a good point. Just take it one game at a time, and maybe you sneak one out against one of those big dogs. But time will tell. We'll be covered over here on Buckeyes Roundtable, whether these long form shows or Kevin, you're jumping in pretty much every day with a quick little video on Buckeyes hoops. I've been tapping into a little bit of the hoop scene because it's fun, man. Regardless of what you think about basketball, you get to this time, weather starts turning. You're getting closer to March. March is a week and a half away, which is insane to say. But you get in the March Madness time, and it's one of the best times of the year. But, Kev, that takes us back to football. Now, I got a bunch of questions for you. We're going to spend the next 15, 20 minutes here talking Buckeyes draft. But I didn't tell you about this. I'm just kind of bringing it up because I truly forgot until right now. But did you happen to see the proposal for the 2014 college football playoff by chance? Did you see this?
I heard of it. I didn't look too much into it.
Okay. What is when I say 24 teams, because I had a very emotional reaction to this. What do you think of when you hear 24 teams and then see a bracket that seeds 15 through 24 have 3 losses?
I mean, it's just expanding too far. You're basically doing the entire top 25 plus 1. And it's not even going to be like that. It's going to be auto bids for like a ton of Big Ten and a ton of SEC.
Yeah.
It's just,
it defeats the regular season, dude. It
does.
It's because, okay, so here's kind of how it laid out. So the 15 seed was Utah. Okay. 16 was USC. And we're not going to go through all of them, but Iowa was in there at, I think it was like seed 20. It would have been last year. They'd have been the 20th seed. You look at all 3 of those teams and like, all right, let's look at Utah specifically. They had 2 losses last year in the regular season. One was the Texas Tech, who made the playoff. The other was the BYU. They lost to Texas Tech by 24 points. Okay. They lost to BYU by 3. Texas Tech made the tournament and lost to Oregon by 23 points. And it's like, okay, hey, the whole point of the regular season is that, okay, if Utah would have beat Texas Tech, guess what? They would have gotten the playoff, but they didn't. And they didn't. And they showed, like, hey, they are not a playoff team. The same can be said for USC, who lost to Oregon. The same can be said to Iowa, who, it was a close game against Oregon. They also lost, right? You have to, at some point, it's like, all right, why even play? We're getting to a spot where the regular season doesn't mean anything at all, and that's not a place where at least I want to live.
Yeah, I think 24 is too big. I think 16 is the right number. It eliminates that bye. It gives everybody a chance to play a home playoff game, forces people out of their element, whether if you're a Southern team going north or a Northern team going south. Am I going to watch it? Yeah. Is me yelling about it going to change anything? No. But I think that it's like we gave on this show a clear-cut way to fix this.
Yeah.
And they refuse to do it.
They didn't watch the episode. That's what it was. But Kevin, I think, like, honestly, this is probably a stretch to say, but I think we're like inching towards a spot where like people won't watch it, right? We're getting to a point where it's like, all right, we always say, all right, put football on the screen, we'll watch it. But how locked in I wasn't locked in when Tulane played Ole Miss last year. I wasn't locked in when Oregon played JMU last year. Maybe I cut it on for like a couple plays. But like, if you're going to give me a matchup that's Vanderbilt versus, I don't know, Ole Miss, or Vanderbilt versus Mississippi State, I don't know. Maybe I'd probably watch it. Maybe not. If I'm seeing Tulane and USC or Tulane versus Iowa, I'm probably not watching that game. I don't know. Maybe I am a sicko that would watch it, but like, I think we're inching towards a spot where it's like, all right, it's too much, and like there's too much football on, and I don't want to say that because I'd kill for some ball right now, but I don't know. I was having a really tough time looking at that bracket and being like, this is the answer.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think people if you're in it, I don't think people pay attention to other games anyway.
Yeah, that's a good point.
As an Ohio State fan, I wasn't really paying attention to many games other than our own. And then after we lost, I'm like, all right, I'll watch Ole Miss, Georgia, whatever. It was, it wouldn't change anything for me. Yeah. I'd be intently watching every Ohio State game. I would turn on the Final Four games. I would watch those pretty intently. I mean, after that, or Elite Eight and then Final Four. And it wouldn't really change much for me other than the fact that the Buckeyes would probably play another game. I don't hate the idea of getting rid of the conference championships. I think they're pointless. I think they're easy.
Yes. Okay.
Because it's shown that it doesn't really matter. So I don't know. It's an extra game to claim who knows? I'm never gonna not watch college football. I'm never gonna not watch the NFL. Like, I think that if anything, people were saying college football is more popular in the NFL. This is now inching NFL's popularity back up because people can't keep track of who's on their team. They can't keep track of really anything. And then they're like, oh, well, the NFL, I still get Myles Garrett and Denzel Ward and all these guys have been on the Browns forever. So it's just, I think that, college football was really good in the mid-2000s and 2010s. Yeah. Now it just got too big. People got too greedy, and this is what the turning point is.
Yeah. No, I think that's really well said. You know, you look back to the 2010 through really like 2019-ish. You know, like I think that's like the prime time, and like I was always
go back to that USC Texas game.
Go back, like early 2000s.
Texas Colt McCoy Texas Tech versus Texas game. Like there were some unbelievable games back then. Yeah. There was some unbelievable college football back then. And I think the reason people loved college football back then was, you had to be perfect.
Yeah.
Now you don't have to be. So it's like the NFL. So games don't really have as much luster as they used to. Mm-hmm. And then the nice thing, though, is like if you do have 4 undefeated teams, which you really won't anymore, but you might, then it's like, okay, how do we decide who's in and who's out?
Yeah.
If it's a OSU, if it's a Tennessee, if it's a Clemson and a Texas Tech, how do you decide between those 4 if they're all undefeated? Like, it's hard. Yeah. So that's the only reason why I get it, but it's just the reality of what happened.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think you and I align on it being 16 is like threading the needle, right? You give the 16-team playoff, you have ample opportunity. You get 2 slip-ups a year. If you lose more than 2 games, you're probably likely out. If you lose a second game, you're playing with fire, right? And that's not a place that you want to be. And if you don't want to be there, win your damn football games. It's that simple to do. So, a lot of good conversation there. We'll see how it all shakes out. It's really funny too, Kev. Like the way I look at it, it's like the NCAA is like, all right, we have like a whole shitload of problems like right here. And they're all like, hey, instead of solving these, look at this big shiny playoff we have over here. Let's just keep making it bigger. I'm like, no, dude, how about you just like fix the issues and then like we'll all be happy. Like just fix the problems. But whatever. That seems to make a little bit too much sense. But Kev, we're gonna do a fun spot of the year. Obviously everyone's all wrapped up. The season's been done for a couple weeks now, and everyone's attention starting to turn to the new football league year, the new NFL year, and in the NFL draft that's coming down the way here in just 2 short months. But before then, we've got the NFL Combine next week. We got pro days coming up, and there's going to be Buckeyes galore. Before talking about the players specifically, Kev, what was your touch, to the NFL Combine, to the pro days? I know you personally didn't participate in much of those, but you had a lot of teammates and you were involved in a lot of that prep. What's that like for the team? What's that like for the players as they're prepping for really what's the biggest job interview of their life? And then, the pro days, which can be really, really cool when they're hosted on a team's campus.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of technically sound, and it comes down to inches, milliseconds that make the difference. So, like, because people say it's difference between 4.9 and 4.49 and 4.4 flat. Like, there's a huge difference there, but that's just the reality of it. So, I think it's cool. I think players who are preparing for it love that it's only once.
Yeah.
They only got to deal with it once. Well, some do the combine and the pro day, but they only have to really do this season, this 3-month stretch one time. So it's interesting. It was a cool concept, a cool idea, but the reality was COVID kind of wrecked my chances at that pro day. And it's a really cool thing. It's one last hurrah to try to get your hat in the ring. But at the end of the day, pro days can make or break it. Look at Lamar Jackson. His pro day cost him, probably made him a bunch of money because he went to the Ravens and signed a multi-year contract. But
played really good.
He dropped out of the top 10 down to 32 because of it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, a guy who was in the Heisman twice, once won, another finalist, is not a top 10 pick because it didn't look like he threw the ball well. Are you serious?
Yeah. Meanwhile, Zach Wilson, rolls out to the left, flips his hips, and throws 160 yards, and they're like, next time, Brady.
Yeah.
Here's a question that I have, just kind of being a nerd of all this stuff. What would you guys do, or just in your experience at Ohio State when you were, you and all the guys were preparing for the NFL Combine? Would you guys practice like interview settings? Like, I don't know, like how did they ever bring that up? Because as it's kind of coming to now, like the most important part is like all these guys meeting with every single team and getting in the rooms with these coaches and these front offices for 15, 20 minutes and just getting really grilled. Did you guys ever practice anything about that, or was that not really an area of focus?
Not really an area of focus. It was just, maybe they did when they went and like met with their agents and stuff like that. I didn't have one of those, so I didn't really have to worry about it.
Yeah, no, those. I love those stories because I can be a nerd for football at times, and like they get in there, they do like the stupid interview questions, like, would you rather be a fork or a spoon, and why? And there's a little bit of that, but also too, hey, get on the whiteboard and teach me this play that you ran on film, and coach it from all perspectives, and what were the teaching points, and how would you install it, and all that stuff. I nerd out on that stuff, so I always find those conversations interesting when they kind of come to light. But Kev, for Ohio State next week at the Combine, there's going to be 11 players at the NFL Combine for the Buckeyes. It's the top 5, which are really rumored. Really, the top 4 you can really pencil into I'd say it's going to be probably all top 10 picks. That's my bold take on it all, but definitely top 15 picks when you're talking about Arvell Reese, Sonny Styles, Caleb Downs, Carnell Tate, and Caden McDonald. Those all feel like first-round picks. Davis Ignosin will be out at the Combine. Lorenzo Styles Jr. will be out at the Combine. C.J. Donaldson will be out there. Caden Curry will be out there. And there's a whole bunch of guys that are going to be out there for the Buckeyes. So the question that I asked to you right now, I thought this kind of through. If you were to take, if we set the line at over/under 4.5 guys selected in the first round, what would you take on that? Would you think all 5 are getting taken in the first round, or do you think it's just going to be those top 4 guys that might go in the top 10 of this draft?
I think you're looking at 5 in the top 10, or in the first round. 100%.
The Caden McDonald is that one. He's the question mark, and I've seen
insane.
Less of a question mark, but it's like, hey, where is he going to go? I've seen him anywhere from pick 23 all the way up to like pick 38, right? In that range. So he's like back end of that first round. But dude, if he goes to and he might be the one that's like primed to be in a really good spot, because he might go to a contender late in that first round and be like, oh yeah, where he's going to a team that's looking to win right now. And you're only drafting a defensive lineman. I guess if you're the Browns, you're going to pick him in the top 5, but you're only drafting a defensive interior guy for like, oh yeah, we want to really beef up the interior of our line because we're going to win. He might be the one that really makes his way to a really good team. But looking at all 5 of those guys, Kevin, who do you think out of any of them, where's the best match, right? If you're looking at an Arvell Reese, or you're looking at Sonny Styles, you're looking at Caleb, you're looking at Carnell, what team really stands out to you like, ooh, he would look good on this team and he would make an impact right away?
I mean, easy answer is Carnell Tate on the Patriots.
Oh.
Just because they need that receiver, they need that guy. Because they have the quarterback. That was the one thing they were lacking. They had Stephon Diggs kind of, and they had Moody. I'd say him there. I'd say I don't really know a team that would need Arvell Reese right now. I think he's probably going to go to the Raiders because they're going to lose their big pass rusher.
We're looking at Arvell probably to the Jets because the Raiders are probably going to go Fernando at 1, and you're looking at Arvell possibly to the Jets. Now, I think that one would be interesting to me because it'd be like, all right, what you could, if I'm the Jets and you could pick any of the Ohio State guys, really, if you want to go defense, which they probably do, if they pick Sonny Styles, probably too high of a reach there at 2.
Yep.
But no, everyone would kind of be like, all right, that makes sense. If they pick Caleb Downs at 2, everyone would be like, okay, that probably makes sense. They pick Arvell Reese. Pass rusher is a little bit more valued, so I'd see that going there. But I think they could go with any of those. And then you're looking at Caleb Downs. He's really the biggest, like, he's the guy who could go anywhere. He could go anywhere from 2. Probably they're saying his floor would be 10 to Cincinnati. If he got to 10, I would be shocked if he got to 10. Because he's going to get on a team next year, and it's either going to be Cincinnati, it's going to be Dallas, it's going to be the Kansas City Chiefs. All of those teams have the ability to get him. Washington Redskins or Commanders, all 4 of those teams can make a pick for him and be like, oh, that team just got immediately better. And it probably goes from picking in the top 10 to a playoff team next year. A lot because of him. Some of them will get some health back, but be like, oh, yeah, this team now gets their safety, gets Caleb Downs, who we know as one of the best players in college football, but he's immediately making an NFL roster 100 times better the second he steps onto it.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I also wonder if, yes, I think he'll be it, but like I think there's a lot of Caleb Downses at that next level. I think that's what makes him so special is he's prepped like a pro since day 1.
Yeah.
I think his brother has helped him understand what being a pro is like, and I think that's what he's been able to take advantage of. I think that Caleb would make any team phenomenal right off the bat. But I think the Commanders is probably the best fit for him. If I'm looking at a team that needs a defense and has an offense ready to go, it's probably that. Or if the Browns can somehow figure out free agency and bring in a wide receiver, I wouldn't hate throwing him back there with Ronnie Hickman.
It'd be sweet. It would be awesome if that was the case in Cleveland. Obviously, we're talking. There's 2 Cleveland guys here that would really, really love that. I would love in Cleveland personally if Carnell Tate's available. If he makes it past 5, it's probably likely he's going to the New York Giants, which would make that offense insane with Malik Neighbors on one side and Carnell Tate on the other side, both in their first and second year. Yeah, sign me up for that, please. Or I guess third year for Neighbors, but sign me up for that. That'd be amazing for those guys. But if he makes it to 6, I'd love the Browns to take him. If not, I would not be shocked. I'd not be shocked if Cleveland, had the phones ringing and they were talking to Dallas or they were talking to some others that were trying to get ahead of Washington, to get ahead of Cincinnati, to get ahead of Kansas City, to get Caleb Downs. I think that one would be interesting there. But the last guy, Kev, is Sonny Styles. And he's really projected to go really where I'm seeing a lot of him at is 15 to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That would be interesting because then you go to the NFC South, which sucked last year, but is probably – looking to rise a little bit. I think the Saints will be better. I think the Falcons will be a little bit better. But you put him on that team, man, that starts – you get a young core down there. He reunites with Emeka Egbuka, who'd be on the other side. And you have 2 leaders on both sides of the ball, both from Ohio State. I think that one would be fascinating if Sonny did end up in Tampa with the Buccaneers.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think Sonny needs a little bit more polishing, and he needs to take a little bit more prep. He just looked – a little lost against Texas last year, and kind of gets lost in the pass game a little bit. His eyes get stuck in the backfield. But, I think that would be a good fit for him. They have a good, solid defense, and he won't have to be a leader right away. He can kind of learn. Which would be huge. That would be
the big part is that I think that's the best thing there is he wouldn't be required to come in and be a game changer on day 1, although I do believe he would. That would be a good fit. Just the same as if Caden McDonald gets drafted by whomever in the back end of the first round, one of those contending teams. I think it'd be pretty cool. The kind of the expectation there would be after Caden McDonald, you'd have to wait a little bit, probably mid-second round, early third round for Davison Igbinosun, and he'd be kind of the next one off the board. And then from there, we're looking at round 6, 7, and undrafted for the rest of the draft eligible guys from Ohio State. But that doesn't mean that they're not going to make an impact for whatever team that they go to. But it's going to get a lot of fun here. It's going to be fun here over the next couple of weeks as we continue to monitor the situation, see how guys' stocks rise and fall, and really project out where they're going to end up here. So, Kev, nice, clean, quick show here tonight. Anything you wanted to get in here before we take off here for the week?
No. No, I think we're good. Hopefully the Buckeye basketball.
Buckeyes basketball, baby.
The women did lose, which was rough, but I think they're still in good shape. They're going to make the tourney. It's just a matter of how deep they go. I think they have the build and they're ready to make a deep run, but we'll see.
Yeah, we will see. On the men's side of things, 6 games left for Ohio State. Like we talked about, Wisconsin tomorrow night and then Michigan State on Sunday. Then they head on the road to Iowa to end their February schedule. Then it goes to March, right, where they get Purdue, Penn State, and Indiana. Honestly, dude, you win those 3 games to start March, you're going to maybe have a chance. That puts you right around 19, 20 wins. You get into the Big Ten tournament, maybe win 2 or 3 games there, and you got yourself feeling like you can get it done here. But will be a very fun, nerve-wracking couple weeks here for the Buckeyes basketball teams. But they got to go and they got to win. They got to win and they got to make the tournament to get a run in here. Kev, before we get out of here, do you do the Olympics at all? Do you get into any Olympics?
A little bit, yeah.
What's your favorite event? What do we got here?
I would say, I get into hockey. I love the short track speed skating. The hockey's fun. What else? I love this new snowboard thing where it's like racing over hills.
Yeah,
that's a lot of fun. I cannot get into certain events. I can get into curling a little bit. I think it's kind of hype. It's like high intensity ice bocce ball.
Yes, it's ice bocce. Yes.
But I can't do the cross country skiing. I can't do the biathlon or whatever it is.
You seem like you're locked in on figure skating too. You seem.
Oh yeah, really locked in. No, I'm not a big figure skating guy. My girlfriend will watch it and I fall asleep.
Yeah. What about what are your thoughts on the luge / the skeleton runs?
I don't watch it. And it just seems very repetitive.
Yes.
Whereas, like, that's what I like about the moguls, it's racing, and they come down at the end, and like they slide their snowboard up. I think that's fun, and then like hockey, obviously, and it's going to be a crash course of USA versus Canada. But no, it's fun. It's I don't think we have one on our site, but if we did, the Olympics are a good thing. I mean, we got a round stone. We got the round table, Ohio State. But I would if we have an Olympic one, I'd love to jump on it and just talk puck.
I don't think.
Rock. That'd be fun.
I don't think we have an Olympics page. But it is getting to that fun part of the Olympics where hockey's really starting to turn up a little bit, and that'll be fun. That final is going to be next Sunday. Hopefully, they're getting into the breakout stage now, but hopefully it's U.S. versus Canada. I think that they can meet in the final, or if not, it's going to be the semifinal. But I think it is the final. But regardless, it's going to be a lot of fun as the Winter Olympics continue and look to wrap up here. But Kev, fun show here. We're going to get out of here on that one. Make sure you follow along. If you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, please do hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you've never been over to the site, hit that QR code up in the top corner, right above Kevin's shoulder there, and you will it'll take you right to the site. If you do so, find Kevin, find myself. It takes 4 seconds. Hit that follow button, and costs you nothing, and it's important for us. So if you could do that, that'd be awesome. But if not, we'll be back again next week. We're recapping whatever happens on the hardwood and whatever happens in Buckeye football world, and we'll continue that all throughout the offseason here. So appreciate you all jumping in with us and hanging out with us tonight. For my partner, Kevin Woidke, I'm Anthony Moeglin. We'll see you again soon here on the Buckeye Breakdown Podcast on the Buckeyes Roundtable YouTube channel.